Yeah, so first big break for acting was the film Shirayuki Hime, which you would know here as The Princess Blade. And so it was an action film, and actually the action director was Donnie Yen. And it was really fun because it was, it was something really different from her, who she normally is. And so really, really enjoyed acting. And then the next big chance after that was Godzilla.
You also voiced a lot of very famous franchise property characters, like from Laura Croft, Angelina Jolie's, the Japanese dub version, and also Mobile Suit Gundam. What was it like doing such major franchises?
You've done your homework. Two minutes.
Yes, and Pokemon.
Yeah, so actually I prefers voice acting because you don't have to get out in front of other people and don't have to be shy. Normally I'm quite shy.
Did you feel a lot of stress to do major franchise characters?
So I guess if you mention it, yeah, there is some pressure, but when you're acting, I mean, really you're focusing on your part, and you're just focusing on what is the emotion there. So honestly, she hasn't thought about it that much; just done the work.
Yeah. So you had mentioned Princess Blade. The director also did Bleach. Also, you did Sky High with Yuhei Kitamura, who was the director of Godzilla Final Wars, which and his film came out after your films with the Godzilla franchise. Did you two actually get to talk about Godzilla while you were with Sky High with Yuhei Kitamura?
So not really. And actually, she has the feeling that Kitamura probably actually doesn't like Godzilla all that much. Yeah, so he was always saying his goal was to basically destroy all of the previous Godzilla films. And when she saw the film, she thought, yep, he demolished it.
You were also the lead in Curie, which was done by the director who works a lot with Power Rangers and also Kamen Rider. What is it like being a lead in a film?
Actually, it's fun because a lot of her acting work is on television in Japan, and often in those cases it's much sort of brighter, fun, positive, funny characters. And her lead roles in films tend to be these very sort of cool, stoic, kind of badass characters. So it's fun. It's she gets to live in both worlds and gets to have different kinds of challenges. So it's hard, but mostly it's fun.
You had mentioned television shows are a little more lighthearted. I believe you were in a show where people were trying to find their partner or dating in terms of their blood type. And so I guess if more people want to find more for television shows, that would be one of them. What is she, because that was one of the more lighthearted ones, am I correct? It was a show, like dating outside my blood type, something like that. Because if you look at her IMDb,
She's forgotten.
It is so long. It is so long. It is possible to forget what shows you've been. If Gwyneth Paltrow can forget she met Tom Holland as Spider-Man in Marvel, it is possible. You can't blame them.
Yeah, so she's been working in the entertainment industry for 26 years now, so she's allowed to forget a few things.
And as we get a little bit closer to the genre of what GFEST is, you played 2 different characters on Kamen Rider. Briefly tell us about the 2 characters.
Yeah, so the one where she throws the manhole. Yeah, so it was an homage to Captain America when they're throwing his shield, and that was the idea. And her throwing the manhole became very, very popular in Japan, and so she actually had a lot of manhole-related Yeah, so to explain more specifically, in Japan, there's actually different types of manholes for different areas with different characters and designs on them. So she's actually appeared in ads for different manholes in different regions. So she says she's developing a new genre as a manhole actress.
Almost like an homage to Captain America.
Yeah.
And was
Yeah,
that
that's
your
okay.
idea, or was that the director's idea?
Oh man. This
It's director's idea.
How about your side?
Director's idea.
Yours.
Did you
Okay.
recognize
Oh, okay.
it when he said, "I want you to do this"? Did you immediately know that is Captain America? That's how. Because we mentioned very briefly Captain America, what is kind of your favorite franchise in American Hollywood films? Any characters, any movies that you really love?
Got some pictures.
So one of the things that she's really been enjoying with her family recently is Back to the Future. Yeah, her son is 7 years old, so it's perfect.
And in Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, what is it like seeing people who cosplay as your character?
There we go.
Yeah, so she actually hasn't seen that, but she's delighted to know that there's a Kane cosplay out there.
Oh my goodness. So if you, her autograph session is later?
1 to 3. Yes.
1 to 3. As you're getting her autograph, if you pull up on your phone and there's a cosplayer that you find on Google Images of her character, please show her. So very quickly, while you're getting her autograph.
Yes, please. She'd like to see it.
How did you get casted into that role?
Yeah, so the director had seen The Princess Blade and really liked it and thought she'd be perfect for the role in the Godzilla film. And so that led to the offer.
Did you know at the time that you were also going to be briefly in Godzilla Tokyo SOS? Did you know that you were going to be in 2?
Yeah, so actually definitely was the plan to appear in the sequel. Actually, originally the plan was for Akane to have a much bigger role in Tokyo SOS. But she got the offer to be in Sky High with Yuhei Kitamura, and that sort of the double booking on the schedule. So her part had to get shrunk on Godzilla Tokyo SOS, but originally it was planned to be much, much bigger.
This was similar to when James Marsden was mostly in Superman Returns. That's why he was barely an X-Men and was immediately killed off by Jean Grey in the beginning. It's because sometimes you have a double booking and you're on a different film. Other than the character that you played, Akane, what other character would you have liked to have played in the Godzilla franchise?
So we'd really love to play one of the Shobiji.
Were you a Godzilla fan before you were casted?
Yeah, but once she got cast, she went and she rewatched all of the films leading up to it. But her son has seen all of them, and her son definitely knows Godzilla better than she does now. Yeah, really, really likes Jet Jaguar.
So, from an actor's standpoint and also a parent, does your son see you and then see you sitting next to him and then see you in the film? Does he get confused? Does he know?
Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously pretty strange, but so her son's seen her other films as well, and was bored or scared, or but with Godzilla, suddenly it's like sitting up, it's like, oh wow, Mom, you're so cool. Yeah, so his favorite part is the Absolute Zero, and he'll do that around the house, and it's like, Absolute Zero!
And you took your role very what every fan likes to hear, and you watched all the films and you studied up on it. When did it occur to you that you were going to be immortalized in this franchise forever?
Yeah, so it's actually been very surprised when she's cast. She was aware that Godzilla is beloved around the world and was part of this popular series, but didn't really know how popular this character is all around the world. And her first hint that this was much bigger than she thought was actually after it was finished and she went overseas for another job, and actually the immigration agent at the airport stopped and looked at her and said, "Wait a minute, you were in Godzilla. You were on Kane." That was the first sign that this was a big thing.
And we know that your character kind of goes off in Tokyo SOS. Where do you think your character is now? What is she doing now?
Prime Minister, like.
So if Toho were to come to you with an offer for a spin-off series about your character, would you do it? And if so, what do you think your storyline would be?
Yeah, so first of all, yes, absolutely, it would appear to spin-off. So to be really honest, what she'd really like is to get back into her combat uniform and get back into KU and pilot him again. So a couple years ago, some of you may have seen the Godzilla Heroine special. That she, after 20 years, she got back in her combat gear again, and it still fit. So.
Back to the beginning comment, your top secret beauty regimen worked because clearly it's going to fit 20 years later. To show the popularity and the love of your character, Andre, you have a photo from a popular anime that you pulled up. And there you are in Singular Point, in Godzilla Singular Point on Netflix. Did you know that you're in that scene, in that?
This is the first she's seen this.
Yeah.
It's an anime on Netflix.
You're with the Yaharas, yes, and his daughter.
I think it's the untitled the film.
So actually, she has a question for all of you. which is what makes Akane so cool to all of you? What's the secret? Why is she so popular?
She looks good in the sun. Yeah.
And she rose up and she got a little down. And so it's equal. Amazing. And you were so cool.
Yeah, I think she's going to start to cry. Thank you for the wonderful answer.
And you know, with Eric here, we talked briefly about the EK Boys. Briefly tell us what that film is about and also her role.
Okay, well, this is for me. So yes, I have had the pleasure of directing Yumiko in EK Boys. And so EK Boys is set in 1999 in rural America, in Oklahoma. It's about a couple of high school best friends who don't like being in high school, and they escape from being in high school by watching anime and tokusatsu. And they get cursed by a magical anime that turns them into heroes, just in time to save the world at the end of the millennium. And she plays a very mysterious woman living there who gets involved in the adventure and has a secret. So if I say anything more, it's spoilers. So Reiko character in EK Boys is, also kind of cool and badass like Akane, but a bit more overtly sexy. So her husband is played by Billy Zane.
Which led me right to my next question. What is it like knowing that your husband is played by Billy Zane? Everyone knows him from Titanic, one of the highest grossing films, and also won 11 Oscars, and what is it like knowing you're with someone who's like part of Academy history?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously Billy is a huge star, and there was a lot to learn from him. Yeah, so this is something I can certainly speak to as well, but Billy, when he's filming, he will just, he'll perform many variations of the same scene and the same line. Sometimes he won't let you wait to say cut, he will just keep going. So it was quite an experience. There's a lot more I can say about that.
And EK Boys comes out, is it in October? From the trailer I saw through Shout Factory that does many great franchises. They're the distributor.
Well,
when does it?
It's streaming here now, so it's
now. Okay.
It's on Amazon Prime and Tubi, and you can also rent it. But it'll be having the Japanese theatrical release next year.
Okay, I think that's the time that I saw on the trailer.
Yeah, that was the release last year. So.
Yes, and that is incredible because people in your film also included Quinn Lord, which is like Man from the High Castle. You also have Ronak Gandhi. He was in a show called All Rise, The lead is Simone Missick, who played Misty Knight in Luke Cage. So you have this incredible cast of people together in your film. It's incredible.
Well, we were just focusing on the work at the time. All of these people are our friends, so don't really think of them as amazing legends, just friends we worked with.
And you have worked on American productions at EK Boys and also Japanese productions. What is your takeaway in the differences of how they work?
Yeah, so there's a strike on right now, so that's one thing. But America really takes care of its actors more than Japan. All of the rules are sort of very, very strictly set for what the protocols are on set. So that's a big difference.
一番最初のプレスプレイの時は、イさんのそのずっとロケしてる通いに車でかかって片道青とかをね、お家に帰ってシャワー浴びてまた行くの全部学習して戦ってドニエにしか指が折れちゃってブロックしちゃってそれでも
Yeah, so to give an example of how tough Japanese sets are, so for Princess Blade, they were shooting around the base of Mount Fuji and had to drive to and from the set every day. It was a 3-hour round trip. So had these long days, would drive to set, go home, take a shower, and then basically go back to set. So Donnie Yen was in charge of the action, and he was really scary and really strict. And really tough. But she actually, doing all of the sword work, she actually broke her finger, but couldn't take a break. So what she did is she wrapped it up in cloth and then tied it to the sword and kept performing. So doing all the action work with a broken finger. So Japan is tough.
And you've been part of some of the most popular franchises like Godzilla, obviously, and Kamen Rider. What are some dream directors or movie franchises you would love to be a part of? We're going to manifest this for you because we want a beautiful and long career for you.
So, well, first of all, she's really, really happy to be here because, she's a mother now and is busy with her son. So that's what most of her life is. And so it's a real treat to be here, surrounded by friends and surrounded by fans who want to support her. So she loves action and is trained a lot, does a lot. So really wants to do more action, do more swordplay, more martial arts. So that's. Yeah, and so actually before EK Boys, she was in a horror film shot in Canada. Yeah, so it was filmed before. It's a movie about a pandemic spreading, and it was filmed. Yeah, so it was filmed the year before COVID, and then released in Japan the year of COVID.
questions from the audience. We just please kindly request no comments and please keep it to one question. We're going to start with